This book that I'm going to talk about, I sat down and I read the 3 parts in one day. It's fast-paced and OMG, it is good. And welcome back to my channel. It's Book Craze with Giselle. How are you going? What's up? What's the scene? Today I'm going to share with you some books that I recently read. Thanks everyone for subscribing to my channel. I hope you are enjoying my content and I will continue to post videos. These books that I'm going to talk about, some of them will mention on my April TBR, because you know how I do. If I say I'm going to read something, I read it and then I come back and I let you know how things were, if I enjoyed it and if I did not. So I'm going to mention those books as well as some other books that I think I need to talk about that I also recently read that was not in my TBR. So, before we get into this video, you know what you have to do. Just subscribe, hit that button down below. Yeah. So thank you for subscribing. Let's get into this video. This book that I'm going to talk about, I sat down and I read the 3 parts in one day. It's fast-paced and OMG, it is good. It's written by Genesis Woods and the name of the book is Black Love, White Lies. One of my subscribers recommended this book to me and I must say I thoroughly enjoyed this book. It's hands down. It had me so absorbed. This series follows Audrey and Cairo. Audrey is, a plus size black woman, and Cairo is a white guy, grew up in a black neighborhood and was raised by a West Indian woman. And let me tell you, it has so much secrets and so many lies and so much deceit, and it comes from everyone. It's coming from everyone and everywhere. When I tell you this book is so enjoyable, you are not going to be able to put it down. So what happens in this book is that Audrey and Cairo, they meet. He has been dating white woman and he decides, you know what, I'm just gonna, I like this woman, I like her personality and she has her shit together. So he's like, let's go out. They date and everything is going so good. However, in the background, one of his exes, Alexander has a plan because she found out from her dad about Cairo. So Cairo is basically from a wealthy family and his grandmother left in her will $50 million for him. So her plan is to get Cairo, marry him, and get money. So something happens and Cairo needs money quick. And because he knows he may be entitled to this $50 million, he needs money. So he decides, you know what, I'm going to marry Alexander, but I will divorce her very quickly because this is a life or death situation that he needs the money for. And he will go back and try to win back Audrey. However, that didn't happen because there was a clause in the will in that it's not $50 million, baby. He will only get that additional 50 mil if his wife has a baby within the first year of their marriage. And it so happens that Alexandra was pregnant. Oh, that's what we thought. And I'm gonna say no more. When I tell you this book is it, if you want something that is entertaining, that is gonna have you at the edge of your seat, that's gonna have you screaming, shouting, and yelling, then you need to get this book. Then you need to get your hand on this series, and it's available on Kindle Unlimited. So if you have access to that, definitely read it. Next up, I read Bree Porter's The Rossetti Dynasty. I hope I'm pronouncing that name correctly. It's Italian and I don't speak one word of Italian. You can probably hear that from my accent. I read the entire series, so there's 3 books. I'll put up the 3 books, and I must say that I really enjoyed this book. It is not as smutty as other mafia books are, but I must say it was really interesting, and I absolutely loved reading about Sophia. This book follows Sophia and Alessandro, and initially Sophia, she comes off as this sweet, innocent, naive woman. However, she grew up in this world. She grew up in that world. She grew up in this whole organized crime family, and she loves the power that it gives her. She loves the status that it gives her, and she's not willing to give it up to anyone. And when she's faced with a situation where someone wants to bring down her husband, and there's betrayal and stuff like that, and the FBI wants to bring down their organization, and they think she's an easy target, they were easily misguided, because she's not. And what she did was use her power and her influence and her ladylike behavior to gain control. She was able to influence so many things, and when persons thought she would have betrayed her husband, she did not. She did not, because in her mind, in her eyes, the CIA and the FBI and all government agencies or organizations are no different from the mafia. So in her mind, why would I give up all of this for what? And when one of her close friends told that she should, man, this series is really good. So if you don't like books where it's too steamy, but you do like this action pack, a fast-paced, page-turner, strong women type of books, then you are definitely going to love this series written by Bree Porter. Next up, and this was also mentioned on my April TBR, it is Savage Beginning, written by J.L. Beck and C. Hellman. In this book, you have Julian and Elena, and it's one of a marriage of convenience, I would say. It follows Julian and Elena, and Elena's dad basically ran up a gambling debt, and Julian paid $10 million for her. He basically wants to use Elena to get back at her dad for killing his mom, who apparently was having an affair together. It is a mafia romance, and let me tell you, there was so much twists, and there was like certain things I was like, what? Woo. It does have triggers. I'm letting you know. I'm letting you know right now. Be prepared for triggers. There's some things that some persons might be able to handle. Yes, there's violence. There's not as much action, but it's an okay read. I did enjoy it. I guess because it didn't have as much action, I didn't enjoy it as much. It's just because I expect a lot of action when reading a mafia romance, but it was good. It was pretty good. It was okay. Not going to tell you how much stars, though. You need to check me out on my Goodreads account to know how much stars I gave this book. Up next, I have a duet, and it's written by Bethany Chris. Y'all, I love Bethany Chris romances. I love her mafia romance. Like her whole crime world, her whole underworld. I'm telling you, it's the bomb. It's the bomb.com. Yeah, that real outdated, but it is so good. This duet, book 1 is Unraveled and book 2 is in Tangle. It follows Kyra and Jian is basically the son of the boss, and he's next in line to run the show. And Kyra, she's also from a crime family. However, she's trying to get away from that. Like her twin sister was murdered, and she's not about that life, so she moves to an entirely different country. And where does she end up? She ends up being involved with someone in the same type of lifestyle that she's trying to get out of. So she goes to Canada and she's studying, and she meets Jian at a nightclub, you know, and they get together. Things are really intense and they can't get enough of each other. But one, there's so much things happening with Jian because his grandfather is murdered. He's placed in a situation where there's a lot of tension in his mafia organization. There's lies, there's deceit, cannot trust anyone, and he also wants to protect Kyra. She doesn't want to be involved in that type of lifestyle. She almost died. Like, let me tell you, this duet has you so engrossed, and you cannot, I'm telling you, like, I couldn't even predict what was going to happen. I could not. And I have read a lot of Bethany Chris books. You need to read this duet. If you have not, or if you haven't read any of her works, you should definitely give her books a try. I love this duet. I probably gave it 4 or 5 stars. It was so good. Recently, I read the Royal Elite series written by Rena Kent, And let me tell you, I love that book. So it's more a new adult. It lacked nothing. It lacked absolutely nothing. It's more of a Bwwm romance, but there's so much mystery and secret and lies within this story that you can't help but read from book 1 to book 2, book 3. Like Elsa and Aiden. Aiden is a psychopath, and Elsa, she cannot remember what happened to her. So when she was younger, there was a tragic event that happened and it left her very traumatized, and because of that, she lost her memory. She could not remember stuff. But as the story progresses, as the series progresses, she starts, getting dreams. Let me tell you, I can go on and on and on about this particular series, but it is just so good. It's so entertaining. Also, the secondary characters, I so want to read more of King and Alexander, because we know there's something going on there. This book, it's hot, it is steamy, but besides that, the plot, very good plots, very good plots. Elsa, at first I was like, what's going on with this girl? I'm like, what's going on with you? But as we go from book 1 to book 2 to book 3, you see her more evolved. You see where she's hurt. She's, oh my god, this girl is lied to by persons close to her. Aiden is trapped in a situation where it's either Elsa or his dad. What does he choose? Is he gonna break Elsa's heart and go through with his father's plan? And oh my god, Aiden's ex, like, come on, give it up already. He doesn't want you. So again, I really love this book. The characters, the plot, everything. It is definitely fast-paced. It is a page turner. You will get absorbed into the story. I don't do much young adult, new adult books, but this could have damn well been an adult book, because yes, they're in high school, but they don't behave like no high school children. This series, it is addictive, like Royal Elite. It is addictive, it is compelling. You are not gonna put the book down. Last up, I absolutely loved this duet. It's Till Death, written by Bella Jewel. And let me tell you, I love Katya and Marcus. So Katya, she's like this really quiet, naive woman. She doesn't have a lot going for her. However, Marcus, he's into a bit of organized crime and he does run a business. He is involved with some bikers and whatnot. However, his grandfather died, and in that will, in order for him to take over the business, he needs to be married. And he needs to stay married for a certain length of time. And he needs someone that will fit the bill, that wouldn't, rock the boat too much. And in comes Katya. Katya is everything that he's looking for. She's not going to create any problems. She needs financial assistance because her mom is dealing with severe health issues, and it's only Katya that she has to take care of her. And let me tell you, eventually Katya finds out what Marcus was doing and his plans, and yes, she fell in love with him, but she ran away when she heard some secrets that was revealed. When she found out that he was lying to her, she got out of there, only to discover it wasn't her alone that was running away. And I'll leave it as that. And because Marcus was treating her in this particular way, and she knew Marcus was lying to her, Marcus had to beg and groveled to get her back. He begged, and he had to show he wanted to be with her because he wanted to be with her, not because he would lose money or lose the business. She didn't want to hear that, and he did. Oh my god, guys, this duet was so good. Again, like Bella Jewel, like she's one of my favorite authors. I love her book. I can't get enough of her stories. Yes, I have read multiple books by her, and I'll probably do a video with some of the books that she have written. I love her MC romances. It's like really fast-paced, it's quick to read, it's simple, there's story development, the characters, you love the characters, and this duet was no different. Like Till Death, oh my god, do you see the covers? It was like, this book was definitely a roller coaster. Like, I was so upset with Marcus at one time, and then I was so angry at Katya at one time. but it all wrapped up really nicely at the end. So that brings me to the end of books that I read recently and end to my wrap-up video. Tell me, have you read some of these books? If you have, let me know your thoughts. As usual, leave a comment down below, because I answer you back. And again, if you also have book recommendations, leave it down below. Your girl is always looking for the next exciting read. So thank you again for watching, and don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment, and hit that notification bell so you would know every time I post a video. Look out until I drop another one.